Hey guys, JJ here, back again for another Wednesday of Zoom networking. We have an unbelievable guest speaker today. I had like a 2 hour conversation with this guy the other day, and I didn't want to stop. Just a wonderful person, really smart, really knowledgeable, great heart, and I'm just gonna say when it comes to um, social media, one of the smartest guys I know. He's in Sub Two's Pace Morby Sub Two community, highly respected. Um, I just can't say enough about this young man. I'd like to introduce my good friend, Mr. Marco Rivera. Marco, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, Judge? Doing good. Happy to be here. Thanks
Yeah,
for
hey,
having everyone come in.
great to have you here. Um, Really quick, for those that don't know you, where in the country are you located?
Currently, I'm located in Pennsylvania as of August of last year. So I just relocated. I lived in Florida most of my life. So new journey, new path, and being
New
with family
climate
now in Pennsylvania.
and a little bit new climate.
Yeah, for sure, new climate.
There you go. There you go. So, you and I met through Sub Two. A real estate education program. I think a lot of people are in multiple are or have been in multiple education programs, maybe at one point or another. Um, have you always done real estate? I mean, from your teens to your 20s, has this always been something, or what did you do beforehand? Was it military? Was it college? Was it retail sales, fast food industry? What were you doing maybe before you, or were you always doing real estate?
No, actually, real estate for me started back in 2018. The journey itself, and it really started to pick up about 20 end of 2019 going into 2020. And it really picked up honestly when I met Jerry Norton and went under his wing. Uh, Introduced me to Pace, went under his wing, and it really just took off from there. So I can say easily within the last 5 going on 6 years is really all the real estate I've ever done in my life. And now I'm at a place where, I can happily say with very hard work, by the way, um, have become a high, um, reputable private money investor,
Hmm.
especially in the state of Florida. Probably one of the biggest ones in the state of Florida for the communities that I'm in. Um, and got over 25 partners now investing along with me, helping
Wow.
them become amazing private investors themselves, so that they can earn about a six-figure or so passive income monthly if possible, right? I was able to achieve that in the very,
Month.
you know, few
Let's not just
years
run
that
through
I
that
that
too
I did this
quickly.
stuff.
Kind of ran through that really quickly. Six-figure monthly.
Yeah,
Six
yeah,
figure monthly. Now, how long did it take you
it's
to
a
get to
snowball
that point
effect, it
to,
takes
to
time.
do that monthly? I mean, a couple of
Well,
years or
yeah, it took a couple years. It definitely took a couple years. I didn't really hit my six figures until just last year in 2024 is when it started. So from before then up until 2024, it's still good figures. I mean, I was hitting probably five figures easily within the first year, second year, third year. So it wasn't until last year that I was able to do that, and it really requires an amount of people to join you in that
yeah.
snowball effect. So, being able to partner up with 25 individual investors and raise the money that we've had as well, and find the good borrowers as well out there,
Now,
we've
let
been
me
able to
ask you, I
make it
mean,
happen.
a lot of us that start, we're starting in, rehab, wholesale, single family home. Are you still doing single family, doing multifamily,
Yes,
commercial?
single
What's your
family for sure. Single family is where I stay the most. I don't dabble in businesses yet, even though I really want to. There's way more returns there. It's way more secure. But single family is typically where I, have most of everything in, and it's anything from, you know, um, low income to even high end projects.
Mhm.
We even have some affordable living projects as well. So things like pad split, midterms, you know, in that category.
So you
And
really
then,
grown now over the last, handful of years, and you're in multiple forums.
right.
Okay,
I've even hit the commercial side with multifamily.
let me ask you
Um,
something. We got a lot of new folk on the call, and people watching on YouTube and kind of stuff. What are some of the early challenges that you faced that you had to get over? Was it learning social media? We're talking about social media today. Your topic's going to be social media scale strategy. But in the beginning, was it learning how to do social media? Was it learning the how to analyze deals? Was it learning how to find money? What were some of the bigger challenges that you faced early on? I mean, you're very successful now. So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on?
well, my solopreneur started really from the comfort of an apartment back when I was really young. Um, I was about 21 years old when I had my first born child. So for me, maturity kicked in really quick, and I had to figure out, okay, well, I got to do something, and so back then I was doing a lot of eBay. I was selling all kinds of different electronics online and flipping. The flip game was my first entrepreneur journey. I was just flipping things for low cost to high cost, and it was very good and it was very lucrative. And that store still runs. I have someone else completely run that. I don't really bother with it anymore. It's just become more of a passive thing. But that's where it first started. The challenges that I really faced back then was figuring out different ideas as to how can I start a business. So, at that time I joined college, and in college I majored in a lot of photograph, uh, website designing, everything that you can think of under the moon, that was to do with branding.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to become a brand company, right? And so my first journey into the entrepreneur world was launching my logo branding business. And I was
Let me ask
probably,
you, that being your first level, a lot of people, I mean, you and I talk about this, but a lot of people don't. And I'm sure you might have experienced what I've experienced. A lot of people just kind of poo-poo the idea of branding. How important do you find this is for the new investor, branding, media?
oh, it's very important. I mean, without it, you're not really going to go anywhere. Because whether you want to believe it or not, you're doing some sort of branding at some sort of time in your business journey, right? If
Mhm.
you're running a business, branding is the number one most essential thing to get that business to grow at a very fast and scalable rate. You do need those things to get to where you want faster. A lot of people don't do that, right? But they're still branding. They're either, word of mouth, marketing themselves, marketing the product or the service that they provide, right? And that's in itself one form of branding, right? And marketing.
Yeah.
But essentially, I don't know of a very successful business this day that you can tell me didn't get where they get without branding.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, let's cut right to the bone here. Your topic is social media scale strategy. What does that? We know what social media is. Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, Snapchat, all these different forums. What is social media scale strategy for the people that are newer on the call or people watching on YouTube right now? What does that mean? Social media scale strategy.
Well, it means finding all the ways as to how to grow or be noticed the fastest, right? What's the thing that you need to do to get to where you want to get the quickest? And so there's different types of strategies that you need to take depending on what it is that you're doing. Whether that is, selling retail products, there's a specific strategy to that, or whether that's growing a podcast, there's a specific strategy to that, whether that's creating short form content videos. There's a specific way to uh, grow and scale that really quickly. So that's really what we're going to be going over. I actually have an entire, power slide presentation.
Wow.
10 slides is going to be really quick, and everybody here is going to be able to at least have a link to have access to that PDF file, so that they can take back home and be able to just review and have the highlights and notes of what it is that they need to be doing in order to get there quicker. All right. And
Okay.
these are strategies that I've, built over the years. It's a very small, quick form. It's nothing in detail and heavy. It's just a really quick form and formula of how to have a blueprint to start something and take action in. And this blueprint with my clients has easily within the first year allowed those clients to get to their six-figure number that they wanted to get to in order to make money off the social media platforms that they're on. So it's very important to follow these blueprints, because they're there for a reason and they
Yeah.
work for a reason. So
Yeah.
um, hopefully, once I get into that, I can share screen with everybody here. We can go over that, and they'll be able to at least
Yeah. You you
visually
you
see.
have the ability to share your screen right now. So let's jump right on into it, brother.
All right, so we're going to be going over these slides, guys. These slides are very important. You're going to have access to these slides. And at the end, I actually have a bonus surprise for you once we're done here. But we're going to go over how to monetize your content so that you can hit your 100K like very quickly first year. Now, as you see here, I've achieved this success with many of my clients within their first year. For them, it was more like a dream. It's not a dream. You can actually make it a reality now. In 2025, it hasn't been easier, or it has been easier than any other year because there's so much, and you're gonna go through these with me, and you're gonna understand why. But I've learned a lot of mistakes as well early on with my clients that set me back. So being able that I was able to go through those is what allowed me to actually build this blueprint so that you don't have to go through those mistakes and you don't have to run into those roadblocks that I had to run into with my clients. And so I've learned a lot through them as to what actually works. So today I'll be introducing you with this blueprint, and it's called the Creator Money Blueprint, guys. I named it for the fact that it needed a name. So it's really simple, four-step process that helps you pretty much follow a formula that can get you to 100K within your first year. Now, it's not a quick thing. A lot of people think it's rainbow sunshine. It's not easy. It takes work. It takes a lot of consistency, and it takes a creative mind and someone who is actually dedicated to making content a form of income for themselves. So, just warning you ahead of time. People think it's easy. It's not. It's just like any sort of business, any sort of entrepreneurship journey. It takes work, grit, and consistency. Now, it's going to come down to choosing the right content format. So a lot of people say, well, how do I succeed in content? Well, it's very easy. You pick a content form. So first you pick, do you want to do short form text, long form text? Do you want to do short form video, medium form video, or long format video, right? They're each their own individual type of content. Once you figure out the type of content that you're wanting to do, you then go into, well, what type of niche do I want to do in that content that I want to stay consistent with? The mistake that people do when they run into or do social media is they want to do everything. They want to try everything. And sometimes that's good if you don't know what you're wanting to do. It's good to try different things to figure out what it is you like most. Because once you start doing it and you stay consistent with it, it's something that you really have to enjoy because it will burn you out if you don't enjoy it. And there's ways now where with AI in the making, you can avoid some of that burning, you know, part when it comes to creating social media content. And there's a bunch of tools and resources out there. But each one of these forms is their own type of social media content. So short form context is a quick engagement with low monetization, something like Twitter, right? Which now is not Twitter, it's Threads, or they have something like your LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is now getting into the social space. They have access now to where you can post reels, right? Short form content. So they're stepping up, and that's the B2B world, right? That's where business to business really connect. So if they're moving in that direction, it's because they know it does work and it does do something. Long form text is more like blogs, like your blog reads, email marketing, that kind of thing, right? Short form video, obviously TikTok, IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, and then you have your medium form videos, which is like low, uh, short quantity YouTube videos, 5-10 minutes. That's the sweet spot. People eat that up. They'll sit there and watch all that content versus long form, which is like the podcast, the dive in Mastermind YouTube videos, that kind of thing. Those are like 30 plus, 60-minute plus videos. That's another form of content. So focus on one content format to build the expertise in that area and then stick with that format for a while with consistency to master it. When I say consistency, I don't mean like a month, guys. I don't mean like 2 months. I'm talking about 12 months minimum. Keep something going for as long as you can once you know that that's what you want to do. Maybe the first month you try something out, see what engages, right? You might throw out a short form reel, a long format video, and then like a couple of threads, short form text, and then see what gets the most engagement right off the gate, and then stick to something that works for you. Um, and there's a bunch of ways you can do that, a bunch of different strategies. All right. So evaluating the content format, I kind of went over this just a little bit ago. It's pretty much each one of these does something different, right? We went over the short form text, short form video, medium form video, long format video, and then the long form text. They all do something specifically different for your audience. Sometimes the best way to start is, well, if I'm going to brand this product so that I can make $100,000 this year, who is my audience for this product? Reverse engineer. Who is my audience for this product? And once you find out who that audience is, what does that audience love engaging with most these days when it comes to social media? If your audience is a 20-year-old to 23-year-old, are they engaging with TikTok videos and IG Reels and YouTube Shorts the most? Should I focus on short form content to sell this product to my target audience that's of that age? That's what I mean by maybe sometimes what allows you to understand what form of content you need to create is the audience that you're trying to target for the specific product that you're trying to sell or the specific service that you're trying to provide. You want to reverse engineer it that way. So that typically helps you figure out what sort of content format you should be doing. Now, let's go into the advantages of short form because I think this is literally the cream of the crop when it comes to hitting large margins for the year when it comes to about anything, whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling a service, whatever the case, if you're doing coaching or masterminding and you're wanting to sell that service, educational videos, whatever it is, I honestly think we're heading into an era where people want things fast, they want it quick, and they want it now. And they don't want to stay waiting too long for it. So short form, in my opinion, is where everything right now in social media is being driven and growing the most. And I'm going to go over a couple of things as to why it has its advantages. So obviously, it has a cross-platform efficiency that nothing else has. Meaning, I can't take a long format YouTube video and just spread it across a bunch of platforms, and it will actually do good because not everything supports a 10-minute video or a 30 or 1 hour video, right? So long format doesn't work in the same way that a 30-second video works, meaning I can take a short from that long format video, make a 30-second video, and then post it across 4 to 5 different short form content platforms that I actually will be able to post it in because they allow it. They allow for that type of video, that amount of time frame, 30 seconds, really easy to consume. So it reaches a lot of people way faster. And when I mean by reach, I mean those platforms. A lot of people don't realize that TikTok has its own visitors and audience that it gets on a daily. So does IG, so does YouTube, so does LinkedIn. And so when you're able to access each one of those audiences on a daily basis with one 30-second video, the same one across all of those platforms, you are reaching an amount of audience that you cannot reach with a postcard or a business card or any sort of other branding aspects that just kind of is more traditional. Um, Now we're in an era where everything is digital and it travels faster when you're able to share it across digital platforms. Also, the algorithm is more favorable, meaning there's way more resource and favoritism to short form content than there is to other things. Reason being is because companies like, for example, Amazon, who runs an affiliation program, benefits from their affiliators being able to create very small short form clips that sells their product and is able to share it through these platforms so they can reach more people and they can make more money. So what ends up happening is those platforms want to help big companies like Amazon. And so the algorithm favors these short form videos for that reason. I don't know if you guys are listening into the whole TikTok being banned from the US, right? This is huge talk. TikTok is going to get banned. All this coming across. The 20th of this month, I think they're making some sort of decision, right? Well, there's also a rumor that Amazon wants to buy TikTok so that it stays US owned, right? Because right now, the reason why it wants to get banned is because right now China is really all over this app and they don't want it to be here in the US for many reasons. One, obviously, the US is not gaining any money out of that. But if something like Amazon buys it, a huge corporation that does feed the nation quite a bit of resource when it comes to money in the community back into our resources, it makes a lot of sense for the US to lead TikTok on. And it makes a lot of sense for Amazon to buy TikTok because TikTok has become a platform for affiliations, meaning a lot of the creators there, which some are real, some are AI, all they're doing is selling Amazon products to get an affiliation referral payment, right? And Amazon pays out for those affiliations and they make money off the product that those people sell for them. Now, if they own the platform, they get to make also the money within TikTok that TikTok is making out of people having a TikTok shop and selling those products. So they get to double dip into earnings that they're already making, not owning the app. So, or owning a share of the app, right? So, there's a lot of talks, but this is why algorithm favors short form is because a lot of businesses like Amazon, Apple, Verizon, Nike, Reebok, the biggest brands in the world, they want to use you, the person who's creating content, to make money on their behalf so that they can in return give you some funds, right? And this goes to individuals that are representing a company or a service, or in this case, if you're building a network of individuals in the real estate world, outside the real estate world, business owners, they all have something they can sell. And you can be the person that they can go to because you have a platform that people pay attention to. And so they'll pay you in order to be able to put that product in front of your screen, right? In front of your social media audience. And then there's direct monetization with, I kind of went over that and hit up on it a little bit already as I was talking to you guys. So that's why I think the advantages of short form is the best one out there, in my opinion, currently, even if you're doing long format, because you can just break all that up into short form anyways and use it to strategize and funnel people back into wherever you have that long format, like YouTube. And once they're in the YouTube channel, you can sell a bunch of affiliations and just about anything through that channel on your description. But the short forms help you funnel traffic back to where you want to have that traffic go, which most people, they like directing everybody to YouTube. YouTube is an evergreen platform, meaning you can make money the rest of your life pretty much. Once you set something up, you set it up, it's there, you forget about it, and you make money. And I mean, it goes on forever. So now the emerging opportunities in short form video is they're not hard. You learn fast. Posting daily allows you to refine your skills, improving um, your messaging and experiment with different trends, meaning it doesn't take you long to understand how to make a 30-second video. It's 30 seconds. You learn very quickly how to do anything for 30 seconds, how to explain to someone why this oven is one of your favorite air fry ovens that you bought this year. In 30 seconds, you can explain it. You can probably highlight three things that explains why you love that air fryer. And, you know, it's not really a huge, deep learning curve how to create a 30-second video. Increasing brand budgets. Companies are allocating large portions of their marketing budget to short form content, meaning they're going out there and they're looking for TikTok and IG profiles with individuals like yourself that have a specific amount of attention. And if you have that threshold that they're looking for, they'll reach out to you personally and they'll start conversating with you about bringing their product onto your platform if that's what you dedicate your life to when it comes to social media, right? So they're literally bringing their budgets up to reach people and they're just handing out money. Their return on investment is just out of this world, guys. They might be paying you $3,000, $4,000 a month to do this for them. They're making probably 100x that, you know. To them, the budgeting is worth the investment. And then the embedded affiliate programs. That's an emerging opportunity that's like going really crazy right now than it has ever been. I can't even tell you how crazy it's getting, but it's getting really crazy. I mean, we have people that build robotic AI profiles on social media with real AI content creators, that there's people, but they're robots, and they're selling a product or doing a review on a product, and it's all automated. That's the crazy part. It's all automated. They probably plan 2 or 1 day out of the month, get a whole bunch of stuff scheduled out, a whole bunch of stuff done. It sits on autopilot the whole month and it's bringing in revenues for them monthly like crazy. I know this because I see it in my agency with a lot of these solo entrepreneurs that are on board with Easy Reach Media, and their profits are insane, guys. And these clients, I mean, they have packages with my agency where they drop 10, 15, 20K a month for me to social media management all these platforms for them. And trust me, they're making way more than that. way more than that. They wouldn't be spending that kind of money if they weren't getting a return on their investment. And then there's clients that are doing it for the pureness of this is what they want to do, this is what they enjoy. And they're building what's called a foundation. So when the right person comes along, they have everything already out there. A lot of people say, well, I've been at this for 2 years. I've been at this for 4 years. And the money I make is like, okay, it's nothing crazy, but I haven't just gotten there. And it's like, well, you haven't been discovered yet. But when you do get discovered, because you put in all the work, those 2 or 3 years before that, right? You're now going to be able to go into a journey of 5, 6, 7 figures down the road because now you got discovered. Now you build a relationship with this one company or these two other entrepreneurs that discovered you. And now they're just using all of your platforms to push their agenda that you are okay and obviously are going along with because it aligns with what your vision was for what you wanted to do. So I tell people all the time, it's not about how long you do it, is the consistency if you like what you're doing and what your vision is. And if you're actually doing everything possible to reach that vision, because if you say, well, I want to really get here, but you're not putting the effort that needs to be put to get there, you're not going to get there. So keep that in mind. Now, I did this little pyramid so you guys can understand um, the monetization of your business when it comes to your social media platforms. So there's create and sell your own product or a service. That's one way. Brand deals. This is where you partner up with brands or sponsored content for brands. And then there's trust building, which is cultivating a loyal audience who will support you, right? And your recommendations. So, like, you're reviewing a product, people trust you, they love you, they see this product that you're reviewing, they see that you're all over it. They're like, you know what? JJ loves this thing. I love JJ and I love this product he's reviewing. I'm going to buy it. Let me click his link and buy it through him. Right. So these are the three different, and I think the top three when it comes to social media and doing business and monetizing it. These are the top three for me that would easily earn you 6 figures monthly if you really wanted to, easily and passively. Um, so you got to think of your content um, as valuable ads that are forever green for you. So once you put it up there, that thing is going to be replaying over and over for every new follower you get, for people who are looking for something like that. Your social media will pop up in their feed. So it's just going and going and going. And so if you combine the strategies that I'm going over with you guys, you can easily 3x your revenues um, from wherever you are to wherever you're about to, start doing or getting to. Now, I wanted to put this up here because this is very important. A lot of people want to know, well, what's the difference between short form and long form? And I did a short versus long because these are the two big ones for me that are kind of going up against each other all the time. And there's a difference as far as how you make money with them. So with short form, more monetization opportunities, right? As I said, in the short run, you can do more things. You can put out more things because they're quicker to make, right? Easier to produce, share, go viral, ideal for quick wins and building an initial audience, right? Long format, it can be more profitable per deal because you can either get the video sponsored, there's premium ad rates that you get, right? If you're already monetized through YouTube, so you can add those on there. It does often require obviously larger and more dedicated audience, so loyalty, fan base, right? You have to build those up, but it also gives you better and deeper engagement and higher payouts because you're able to go into something a little bit more into depth, right? You can't do that with short form, right? That's quick, fast, to the point. Over here, on the other side, though, long form is more detailed, more in depth, more dating, sort of, right? Someone can date you while they're watching you in long form because they get to know you a little longer. It's not really easy to know someone and date someone if they only give you 30 seconds of their time, right? So if you use these combined, though, that's where the sweet spot is. So that's why I put them first if you want to go one way or the other. But if you could to combine these, go both ways, you create the long format that then you can break into a bunch of short form content. Now you've hit, I think, the icing on the cake right now in 2025. The easier way to make money is from three to one being the hardest, three being the easiest. Why? Because affiliations already have everything that you would want, and they already done all the research for you. They've done all the uh, you know SEO for you. They've done all the presentations, they've done all the photos. You're just selling something that's already been all done for you. And then there's selling your own product or service. This is the hardest one. It takes the longest, but it's the most profitable because you get to earn just about almost every penny in that category. So you can earn the fastest, not make the most when it comes to number three, and then number two and number one. So it goes in that way. Now, if you're able to combine all three, this is where everything gets really juicy and things get really crazy. And you start making some crazy money. Um, and so I kind of put this together so you guys can understand this is a formula. This is the blueprint. No matter how you approach it, when it comes to business or branding or going on social media, if you wanna make money, you gotta follow this blueprint. Meaning you can't just make content just to make content, right? If you want to provide value to people, that's great. And get nothing out of it, that's also great. But at some point, it has to yield you something, right? So if you're going to put valuable educational content out there that's either personable or strategic, you want to attach something at some sort of point when you reach a point in your social media journey, whether that's your story, whether that's, you know, whatever it is that you're going to do, there's going to be a point where you're going to hit a point where now you're like, okay, I think I've got this down. How do I start making money out of this now? Right. And so this is the growth path. You start looking for these three things. That's really what it comes down to. I don't know of any high influencer out there that's not doing this right now. They are doing this and more, but these are the three. Now, you do want to avoid pitfalls. And this is, I went over this and I touched up on it before. Avoid trying everything. It's just as easy as that. That's how you can avoid pitfalls. Think about what you really want to do. Maybe start with the audience that you want to target, and then that will let you know what it is that you need to do. But don't try everything. You're gonna go run in circles, and you're gonna end up burning, and then you're not gonna end up wanting to do it. Then you put it to the side, and you're like, I'll get to that later, and then you just don't. So trust me, I've been there. I've seen it every single day in my agency. Um, People, if you don't know what you're wanting to do, or you're going and you're wanting to try everything, you're not going to see the success that you're thinking in your mind you're going to see. A lot of people think that um, just when they pick up a social media management agency to do everything for them, that's going to create some sort of miracle and it's going to make money just fall out of the sky. It doesn't work that way. You need to listen to your social media manager, whoever's coaching you and consulting you, and you need to actually apply what's being taught to you. Just like a mastermind mentor in a real estate or a coaching business, if your mentor is telling you, hey, this is what I think you should be doing, and you're not applying those those strategies or applying that homework, you can expect to go to your mentor and be like, why is this not working? He's going to look at you and like, are you doing what I asked you to do? If the answer is no, then that's why, right? So avoid the pitfalls. Stop doing everything and stop chasing the stuff that's like popular too. Get him like you can use trendy content and other influencers' ideas as ideas to feed essentially what you're wanting to create. But I wouldn't, you know, try to copy everybody. Um, Try to create some sort of personality that would set you apart, right? Because your audience wants to see you because you're you, not because you're, you know, Grant Cardone or you're, you know, Donald Trump. They want to follow because you're you. There's something about you that they like. There's something unique about maybe how you speak, maybe how you present yourself, maybe it's your silliness, right? There's something unique about every individual out there when it comes to them being a person. So, and then poor bio optimization, meaning your bio, your storefront, meaning your what people see when they visit your Instagram account. There's a little bio at the top. TikTok, same thing, right? YouTube, same thing on your YouTube channel. All that matters for first impressions. Typically, in Instagram, it takes about 3 seconds for someone to go into your IG profile and leave if they don't want to really get to know you. So you got 3 seconds to like captivate them and like tell them who you are and what you do. And so that bio is very important. That link that I'm going to give you guys today, not only is going to have this slideshow, it's going to have two other PDF files that's going to teach you and tell you exactly how to set up your profiles so that you hit the information very quickly when someone visits you for those 3 seconds that you have them. So hopefully that helps you guys. It's going to be entirely free, and you guys can thank JJ once I send that link to you guys in the chat. Now, to recap, select the content format, develop the posting strategy that you want to do for that content, and then enable the monetization, meaning approach a step-by-step plan as to how you want to monetize those platforms, right? There's got to be something that you got to do or apply that lets you track what it is that those platforms are doing for you. Because what's the point of you putting content out there if you're not watching what it's doing, right? If you put a video out there telling people why eating healthy is very important, and then you have nothing for people to go and find, right? Like your top 10 best recipes. You don't have something like that for them to look for. You're not monetizing because you want to be able to monetize because you want to be able to know who's listening to you, who's interested, right? So if you create a link that has this top 10 meals, right? And in order to get that list, you are asking for the email, maybe you're asking for their phone number, maybe some other information. Now you're creating a list of individuals that, one, are interested. They clicked on it for a reason, right? You have an audience now that later down the road you can target through either email marketing, whatever strategy you want to use to sell them something that relates to what they were interested in to begin with. So hopefully that makes sense, and that's a quick sample, but these are the three things that I would recap with you guys because they're important. So um, hopefully you guys like the Creative Money Blueprint. It's very simple presentation. It's the core value of how these things work, and they go way more into depth, guys. But it's just a quick scheme of how to really achieve 100K very quickly when you get into this business of social media marketing and branding.
That was excellent. That was completely excellent. Curtis Manny, you are on with Marco. What's your question?
I heard that there's like a filter that you can use, and like to where it links all your social medias together. So when you do a short, it'll just blast it to all of your medias. So you don't have to
Oh yeah, I
individually
mean,
do it.
there's a bunch of different sources out there that you can do with that with. That's a social media management service scheduler, right? So if you don't have a social media manager, you can always get a scheduler like Metricool, Hootsuite. If you have Meta has their own um, but it's
Addison?
typically for Facebook and IG. But with Metricool, one service I've used in the past, you can put one short form video into your calendar, click on all the medias that you want it to go to, and with one click of a button, it schedules it out, posts it everywhere for you, and you're good to go.
You're calling that Metro Pool?
Yeah, Metricool, Metricool. I will put an affiliate link up there, but you guys can, look this up on your own. They make plenty of money off me and a bunch of other content creators. But it's really cool. I mean, you can and it provides a bunch of other stuff too aside just scheduling. It gives you a statistics report of like how those platforms are doing, how that specific content piece was engaging, and how those accounts are doing on a day, monthly, weekly basis. So those are just like management source tools where like if you want to take on all the job that requires of being a content creator, you can do it with that and it will make it a lot easier for yourself if you're wanting to manage it all. But it's still work, right? There's a lot that goes into it, but most people end up realizing what that looks like once they actually start doing it. Because I know people right now that try to post just on one platform like Instagram, and they'll take an hour just to post something like one thing, right? And it's because they want it to be perfect to perfection, and all that matters, right? And at some point, those individuals will probably get burnt out or figure out a faster way to do it. But there's always a way to do things faster and stay hands off, right? That's the ultimate goal is how to do something and stay hands off when it comes to social media or business, right? A business owner wants to achieve the same thing. He doesn't want to go on vacation and then money stops flowing into the business because he's on vacation and money doesn't come in without him. He wants to be able to fly to where he wants. Money still flows because he wants it to be automated, right? And not have to, deal with being hands on. So social media is the same way.
That answer your question,
Yeah,
Curtis?
because I know I'm slacking. Yep, you got it.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you. And thank you for joining us today, Chris. Really appreciate it. Pia Norton, you are on with Marco Rivera. What's your question?
Hey, Marco, thank you so much for all this information. This is good stuff. JJ should be proud of me. I finally got a QR code going. I got my business logo going. But I'm really not tech savvy. I have to have the help, right? So, when I'm trying to do this social media content, if I wanted to do a short video per se, a lot of us have to use our cell phones. So, what do you recommend when you're starting out developing your content to Facebook? I still don't have an Instagram account. I'm still behind on all this TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So, if I was just to start out on Facebook, what would you recommend I do? What's the next step forward?
Well, definitely use your camera device. I highly suggest newer smartphones. Anything 11, like if for iPhone, it would be anything above a maybe iPhone 12 Pro Max and
Yeah,
up.
I have the 15. I do.
I mean, guys, these phones are insane. Like the iPhone, I got the 16 Pro Max, and I can do just about any job that any top videographer can do from a very, very expensive camera just from my phone alone. these cameras. There's apps out there that enhance these cameras. There's settings. You can easily go on YouTube and find out best settings to create Facebook Reels, Facebook uh, videos with my iPhone 14, iPhone 16, and they would tell you exactly how to get this phone to record at very high quality with very little effort and not have to worry about buying all this equipment. Just a tripod, put the phone on it, put a ring light, some lighting around you, you're good to go. And obviously make sure you have a good setting in the background, go somewhere. The audio on these are very good. You can buy very cheap audios to enhance the audio that you can plug in with the USB-C. I've seen them as low as $20, $30. That's all you need. But I would honestly, if you're going to jump into content when it comes to Facebook, I would jump into Reels. Reels on Facebook, but Facebook Reels are a thing. Short form content is the best way to go, with a little bit of hybrid of strategic posting. But it would be Reels and stories. It's going to be the way that your Facebook is going to grow the quickest, and it's going to get the most algorithm. And take it a notch further, you want to have a Meta account. Meta is about, I think, where it was $15 a month. I don't know where it is now, but there is a benefit to being a Meta owner,
Really?
Meta member. Yes, absolutely. Like the algorithm boost, the tools that they give you, like everything enhances to grow your Facebook and Instagram way faster. They purposely made it that way because you're paying for something that you never had to pay before. You had to earn it. You remember when Pace was trying to earn his blue badge?
Yep.
I mean, he had to get. I mean, it cost thousands, tens of thousands, and you had to, go through this process. Now people just pay $15 a month, and you can just earn the blue badge. You don't even have to, be anybody huge. You just have to be able to align with the the guidelines that they need in order to have a Meta account. Like your profile picture has to be, you. It can't be a robot, and so on and so on. But that would be the way I would. My quick hint as to what you should do on Facebook is stories and reels, and then to grow it, it would be obviously using all the resources that they have for you, and Meta is one of them. It helps boost and it helps do a lot of things. Um, do you have a Facebook account already open? Is it
Yes, I
personal or
have
is it
Facebook.
business?
Yeah, it's mostly my personal page.
Personal.
I
Okay.
haven't done any business content yet on it. I just kind of wanted to get the website launched and filtered and pretty much going towards my goals along the lines of being a financial services literacy coach. And I also work with veterans. So I
Got
kind of
it.
blend those
Okay.
two together. And now I'm into the real estate ventures to where now I'm going to start blending veterans into investing in real estate wisely, utilizing their VA benefits and also the Airbnb kind of. Uh,
Okay, great. So what I would say is stay away from personal. Don't do any of
okay.
that stuff on your personal. You need to now switch or shift your Facebook into either Facebook business or Facebook page or Facebook community. You need to shift everything over to where you're able to automize whatever it is that you're going to do for the future of that journey. Because one thing that you need to learn is, and I don't know if Facebook will change this because they are changing a couple of things now that Donald Trump is in office. They are changing a lot of things actually. But in your personal Facebook, you're not allowed to do certain things like metrical. Like I was going with Curtis, you can't have scheduled content be automized and scheduled onto your first personal Facebook. It will flag it and it will know it's like, hey, there's automation scheduling being done from X source, and after certain amounts, they'll put your Facebook down or, disable it, ban it,
Mhm.
and you have to like go and,
Answer
open
you,
up,
those kind of things.
Yeah.
yeah, they make you open up, uh, a reason as to why. And so don't do anything on your personal, uh, do things extensions to your personal, like Facebook business page or a Facebook page or a Facebook community.
Yeah,
Have all
so
that
invite
stuff go there.
people from my personal Facebook over into the business side of it so they can
Right,
see the
you
content.
invite whoever you have on your personal Facebook. They'll follow you into those other areas of your Facebook if they're interested. This allows you to filter out, obviously, right? You get the people that accepted. They want to see what you got there. And then I would then work on creating um, or getting the reach and organic following of people outside of your personal, because that's really where the money is. It's reaching the Facebook community pages, the Facebook business pages that align with what you got going on, going in there and start reeling people into your page, your community, right? That's the organic side of how to get that growing. So hopefully that answers your question. Um, and hopefully it gives you some insight as to maybe what to do next.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're
Peter,
welcome.
thank you so much for your question, for joining us today. There's so much to cover. We could go for another 2 hours. I know. I have one question before we wrap up, but actually one about your topic, and then we'll something beyond that. But I've got an iPhone. Paste always says iPhone, iPhone, iPhone. Um, Part of it's the camera, part of it's the operating system, I'm sure, which gives the additional resources. Do you have any perspective at all about Android versus iPhone? I know there's iPhones cost a little bit more, but probably if one can afford the better tool, it's a better tool, or for the most part, can Androids do the same thing?
So both phones are obviously they've come a long way and they can do a lot of things.
Yes.
Um, but I'm always going to be biased and I'm always going to favor Apple just because the interface and the business approach, even in the real estate world, I text a realtor, they're actually going to respond back. You do that on an Android, they see that green text, they're just not going to do it because AI robots have ruined that for realtors now, right? So
Good
when you
point.
have automated CRMs putting all those green text out, it just becomes something that. So from a business aspect, iPhone, and from me owning a social media management agency, iPhone is where it's at. I can share everything on my phone to all my different devices. My Apple laptop, my
Yeah.
Apple,
Yeah. They all
computer,
talk to
my
one another.
my TV. It's just so easy to be able to access stuff through the iCloud.
Okay.
So I'm always going to be biased and pick.
We did have two people that had their hand up. I want to give them a chance to jump in really quick. Okay, you're on with Marco again. Did you have anything at all you want to say today?
My question was answered, but I wanted to ask him a little information about when you mentioned about the growth path. It start with affiliated links or sponsored posts. So is this something that like you reach out brands and offer your I don't know, marketing or something like that?
So you would reach out the companies, the brands, or the services, right? All these websites, like Amazon, has it right on their website. Normally it's typically at the bottom of those websites. They'll say something like affiliate program or affiliate something, right? And there is an application process. You do have to go through that process. So best thing that I can tell you to do before you go into affiliating or filling out affiliation applications is have a presence, have social platforms,
Mhm.
because they're a part of the application process. They're gonna ask about platforms, websites, YouTube channels, IG accounts, TikTok, right? They want to see what it is that you have as to why they should select you for their affiliate program and if you're going to make them money in some way, shape, or form, right? So someone like JJ can apply for Amazon's affiliation program. They're going to see that he has a network of people from communities to Facebook page to all this stuff, right? And they're going to see the engagement, they're going to see the audience, and they're going to be able to say, well, this guy has some sort of presence. If he wanted to review or sell something to all of his audience, he's going to have a higher chance of actually making this money. Let's go ahead and approve him for that application, and they'll give it to him. They'll give him a link. They'll give him his own Amazon affiliation page where he can track all that stuff, right? So that's typically how that would work, and that would be the process. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Marco, you are on with the infamous Big Mike. Big Mike, you're on with the man himself, Marco Rivera. What's your question, Big Mike?
Hey, Marco, thank you for coming on. Maybe I missed it, I lost signal, but my question was, I've been producing content, never with the idea of monetizing it. But as I heard you speaking about products and branding, mine's more about creative finance education. How do you monetize that, if anything?
When you mean creative finance, what specifically are you speaking about?
Subject to creative strategies to acquire real estate and stay out of pocket on any deals that I do.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm part of Sub 2, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Very simple. How do you think Pace Morby manage or monetizes this at the moment to you? How did he get you to even learn this?
Through a referral, you mean, to join Sub 2?
No, not to join Sub 2, to get you to come across creative finance.
Social media, the videos?
Social media, right? Now, how do you think he's monetizing what you were able to learn?
Making a community.
He made a community, which the community is to what?
Teach people.
Teach people. So who's the teacher in this scenario when it comes to what you're doing?
Me.
And if people want to learn from you, you can eventually do what with what you're teaching people?
Monetize it, create a community.
You can do a workshop, sell a course. Maybe you can niche it, right? And so I would suggest niche it because I don't know what you're doing as far as content creation, right? But let's say you're doing creative finance, right? And what in creative finance is it that you're specifically focused on, right? Is it single family homes? Is it multifamily homes? Is it acquiring businesses? Or is it land, right? There's a specific category. And then once you go into that category, let's say a single family home. Well, are you specifically talking about creative finance on single family homes that are considered foreclosure? Is it specifically for single family homes that will be strategized as an exit for pad splits? And what those single family homes should be that you should be targeting, right? So you want to niche down creative finance to where you're the only person that's doing specifically that. Meaning you can't do what Pace Morby is doing, because Pace Morby, he worked to where he's at to be able to talk about just about anything now on the screen. But specifically when he started, he was the only one specifically focusing on one thing and one thing only when it came to his social platform, and that was talking about creative finance in the way that he wants people to learn it, right? There's a bunch of different ways to learn creative finance. It's not just his is not the only way. So I would say in order to monetize it, niche down. Once you niche down to specifically what it is that you are really good at explaining, sell that through either a course, right? There's Teachable. There's a bunch of platforms out there where you can create courses, put them out there, and then put them for sale. You can make money by connecting, right? People come to you. It's like, hey, I have this deal, Mike. It falls along with exactly everything that you've taught me. Can you help me take it to the finish line? Boom, you just monetized it. You made money. And it's because of your social platform, right? So there's a bunch of different ways. It just comes down to thinking outside the box and thinking about how you can monetize it and make money off it. And it has to be something that you're good at. So with what you already know about creative finance, what's the one thing that you know for sure you can make money on and monetize, and how can you capitalize on that? That's what I would probably ask myself if I was in your shoes.
I already have an idea. You want to hear it?
But sure.
Because they call me Big Mike. The big method. Because I borrow money, I invest it in real estate, and it generates passive income, keeping me in the deal, zero out of pocket on all my deals.
Okay, cool. Now, acronym, big. That's what I would do. Because what is the big method? Big method is the things that you mentioned, but what does big stand for? Acronym and strategize the word big, the letter BIG, to mean something in the industry that you're working on. So that way you can explain to people why it's called the big method and have it align with what you're doing. Right. That's the point of that's the other side of things. How to brand yourself to where you're unique. Right. You can call it the big method and it's because of this, but like, why did you call it the big method? And a really unique way to really doing that is like, well, the BIG stands for this, this, this.
Yeah,
That's
borrow.
why this method is so big.
Yeah, it's borrow, invest, and then generate.
There you go. There you go. So you already have it. So now you just need to put all of it together and figure out how you can sell this package. Because as I went over my presentation with you guys, that's number one, right? Selling a service. That's the hardest, but it gains you the most profit because you're earning pretty much almost all of it.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Big Mike. Two last questions I have for you. You have an entity that provides a service. I will ask, are you also coaching and do you have a book, or is it a service that you provide to individuals?
Yeah, so no book. This
Yeah.
is a service that I provide on a daily to individuals. I have an agency, Easy Reach Media. I've branded and changed the name several times over the years because that's what good brands have to do. That's what, if you're a company, running a company, you have to rebrand. McDonald's does it, Wendy's does it, Nike does it, everybody does it. That's just the business, right? So Easy Reach Media is where it's at right now. And I provide services all the way from logo, websites, funnels, email marketing, full automated social management where I run everything for you, or just edit stuff for you. Or, I mean, it's a whole agency. It literally has everything
Are there
that
different
you need in
levels that
social
one could
media.
participate with you?
Yes, the social media management is where you get me personally. It's the highest level of social media service that I have because it does involve coaching and consulting. I have to be able to speak with you. I have to be able to steer you in the right direction. I also have to be able to manage your platforms and oversee them with my team. I build a team around you. So typically right now, what I do is for every client, I have about 25 high top level employees. And those employees help me build a team specifically that caters and studies just you. And it's typically a team of three. They all three specifically do something specific for you, while I and that leader that I put in that team from the 25 that work for me uh, manage over them to make sure that you're yielding the results that you need as a client. And the reason we do that is because every person has their own individual taste.
Yes.
And we want to bring in individuals that are just going to, all their job is to adapt to your taste. And so they're going to know everything from like what you like, what you don't like. Sometimes they will even be able to just mimic you and be you, meaning they'll be able to talk like you and write like you. They'll be able to do all kinds of things. Like most entrepreneurs right now have, Pace Morby has about 20 copies, maybe more of him all day long. And it's not really him talking. It's just the individuals that all they do is learn how to be Pace and then they just are Pace. And now Pace is able to step out and all that stuff automates for them. Same thing with Grant Cardone, same thing with Chris Crone, same thing with the Hamozis. It's the same thing with everybody.
Yeah.
There's a team behind you.
There you go. So everything obviously, depending upon the size of the individual's company, what they're doing, their level of growth, their direction, everything is customized. What's the best way for folks to connect with you?
So obviously through you, JJ knows how to get a hold of me personally, and he knows all my platforms that I'm more active in. Instagram is probably the best way to get a hold of me at Marco Money Gems, and Facebook, Marco Rivera. You can literally look me up. I have a personal Facebook. People reach out to me to there all the time. I'm typically on Instagram the most, Facebook probably the second, and then JJ is going to be your best bet though. He can just text straight to my phone and introduce me to someone, and you guys have me directly. So
Last question for you, and I think I know where you're going to go with this, but I've got a network group. We don't talk about cold calling or short sales or multifamily or anything like that. I'm just about networking, building relationships, building people's visibility, teaching them how to build their brand, whether it's real estate or any other business. When it comes to the success of one's business today, leveraging social media, the internet, how important is it to have a social media presence, to be networking, to build relationships?
it's highly important. Um, I just don't see how businesses or communities or anything would get built without it. It's now the number one form of marketing. You know, paid ads and paid marketing is still out there. It definitely is, and it's still a strategy. But the difference between that and social media is there's very two big differences. Is that in order to have paid ads yield you an ROI, you do have to also put in the money that is needed for that yield to be returned back to you. And you have to pick the right person, the right team, right? So there's a cost, a big cost, way more costly than maybe hiring a social media manager. Um, and so when social media managing comes along, you're talking about you can post an ad, but it's really a social piece of content that you boost for a while, but it stays on forever. It's not a campaign. And you have to keep paying for it for every day to be up there and for
Mhm.
every day for it to make you money. So it's forever. And so when you think about, hey, I can put this ad out here for X amount of time and I'm going to spend X amount of money to yield X amount of return. Well, I can put the same thing out here for way less. It's going to be up there for as long as I keep it up there. I don't have to pay for it for as long as it's up there, and it will keep yielding me money forever. An ad stops yielding you money the moment it's done and the campaign is over, right? So they both have their own strategies. They do work very differently, and they have their strong pros and their strong, not so much, cons. But it's very important. It's very
Yeah.
important for you to have a social presence. It's very important for you to, push anything that you want as far as a business or service in
It's all about
social
visibility
media.
to some extent, right?
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, brother, really want to thank you for being on the call today. Um, you guys, again, if you want to connect with Marco, please go to his Instagram. It is Marco Money Gems on Instagram. That's the best way to reach him. Um, please look for our video coming out in about a week or so if you guys are on the call right now. Um, if you're watching on YouTube, you want to connect with me, click on the turquoise QR code here, go to my website. You can click the register now button. If you want to see more about what we're doing on YouTube, guys, go ahead and scan the purple QR code here, and that will take you to the YouTube channel. If you guys are on the call right now, don't go away. Please stick around. We're going to have a couple more things I'm going to bring at you. And just really, Mark, I want to thank you so much. As far as everybody else that's watching out there or even on the call now, we'll see everybody out in the world of virtual networking, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, and soon enough, I'm going to be back on here, and we're going to be going over private money investing and how you
Yes.
can earn passive income with great returns, very successfully in real estate.
Yeah,
and
we're
how
gonna
you can do it.
definitely have you back soon.
Yeah.
So everybody else, hey guys, thanks for joining us. Marco, we'll see them later, right?
Yeah.